Next week, we will be taking up the George Floyd Justice in Policing Act, which would address police misconduct, excessive force, and racial bias in policing. And then we are also going to vote on For the People Act, which is HR 1, which will include sweeping reforms to voting rights and democracy to ensure a stronger and more equitable system for all. And hopefully soon we are going to do one of our coffee and Quran conversations around some of the measures that are in HR 1. And so I hope you all join us and you're enjoying those conversations as we dig deeper into some of the policies that we are advocating for, and many of our constituents are asking us to take up. In addition to passing HR 1, we also need to remove other relics from our racist history, like the Electoral College and the Senate filibuster, and we continue to advocate for that, and look at what really is being brought forth as we try to grapple with the events of January 6th and the insurrection that we've all witnessed. It was made really clear that we need fundamental reforms to our democracy. Many of us are worried about the risk of democratic backsliding, and it's going to be really essential for us to try to do everything that we can to make sure that our democracy is sustainable and it can withstand the difficult and challenging times that we are living through. As we've talked about, I just want to look back really quick, since this is our first town hall since we've gotten sworn in our second term, about some of the things that we were able to accomplish last term. As many of you know, we were able to pass 28 bills and amendments in the House. 7 bills and amendments were passed into law. We introduced 60 bills and amendments, and we were able to co-sponsor around 660 bills. Last Congress, we held 42 town halls and roundtables, and this cycle we're hoping to surpass that. We were able to also secure federal grants in the amount of $1 billion $750 million, and have over 700 constituent case work, and we held over 2,500 meetings with our constituents. In this second term, we are really looking to make sure that we are accessible, that we continue our tradition of co-governing, and really trying to dig in deep into some of the priorities that are being set by our constituents. Earlier last month, we were able to travel to northern Minnesota and met with Indigenous leaders about the Line 3 Tarzan pipeline. We know this project would make it impossible for us to meet our state's climate target, while also threatening Indigenous treaty areas and the Mississippi headwaters. We've also worked really closely with the Biden administration on their priorities on immigration, the pandemic relief, foreign affairs, education, and other issues that are impacting our district. I was proud to join Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and Senator Warren in advocating for a $50,000 cancellation of student debt. to lessen the burden that so many of our constituents are dealing with in regards to student debt. We've also been leading the effort to try to make sure that the survival checks that that are part of this package are being processed in a reoccurring way, because we know that the financial burden that people are feeling is not a 1 month thing. And it's not a one-time thing. So many of our communities have asked us to advocate for reoccurring payments. And so we're pushing for $2,000 monthly reoccurring payments until the end of the pandemic to help make sure that people can continue to feed their families, keep roof over their heads, and purchase things like necessary medication that they need. We are advocating and legislating on your behalf, and we're hoping that you are able to follow the official social media sites so that you are able to get up-to-date information on how our office is working on your behalf. And if you have not signed on yet, you should sign on for our newsletters so that we can inform you that way as well. So moving on now, I'm excited to answer some of the questions that you've all sent in. We received a lot of questions regarding the upcoming trial of Derek Chauvin. While I can't really provide any specifics on the trial in itself, I can provide you with estimated timeline for it all. Starting Monday, March 8th, the trial begins. The first 2 to 3 weeks will be on jury selection. Then the trial itself is anticipated to take 3 to 4 weeks, with a verdict being announced sometime mid-April. And, we are told that courttv.com is a way for people to follow the day-to-day happenings of the trial. We expect major moments, such as the first day of the trial to begin and the verdict to be aired on national TV as well. Many people have asked, how can they, with all the barricades that are being built, how can they participate and assemble during the trial? The north and south part of Hennepin County Government Plaza will have areas where people can gather. And so we are encouraging people to make sure that they're following the guidelines, that they're staying safe,